to honor you guys for what you've done and the way that you went above and beyond. I know that everybody probably knows the story, what you did to help save this gentleman and his dog. But I was just hoping, if you could maybe give us a little bit, just maybe say your names and tell us a little bit about what happened that day. It'd be great.
I'm Alex.
Alex?
And me and one of the kids who aren't here right now, they came up to us, told us they were screaming, checked it, and so we drove over to UP to alert the cops of the situation. And then we met up with them later, jumped over the fence to go look for the man in the woods.
Awesome.
So what actually happened was, and it's still unbelievable, like how we were there and the fact that this campus was actually quiet for once. Owen and I heard it first. We were trying to get my Ford Probe to move from the deadlock so I could get it into the shop. And as we were working on, getting frozen battery out, unlocking the wheels, we heard this this screaming coming off in the distance.
I thought it was a bird at first.
Okay.
Owen's like, I think that's a bird.
And then we listened to it a little closer and realized that was someone screaming for help.
That is definitely not a bird.
The two others that aren't here right now, they were in the car eating lunch with Alex.
Yep.
So I walked up and kind of told them about what was going on. And then they took off to go get UP and dropped Cam off, and me and Cam, while he went back to get who you were getting. UP as well.
Yeah, when I took the frozen battery into automotive instructor Mr. McIntosh's room, and then I went into his office, kind of frantic, and said, "I need to use your phone. I need to call UP. I think there's a man calling for help out in the wilderness."
And by the time he was doing that, me and Cam already jumped the fence and ran up to about where there's a waterfall on the river back there. We tried to hear him back there a little bit more. My phone was on 1%, so I got one 911 call out before it died.
Wow.
And we kind of regrouped with everybody and Officer Rons, and we started looking for him. We all just kind of came down at the same time with the rescue team when they found him as well.
So you were all out there searching for this guy. You could hear him, but you couldn't see him.
Yeah.
Then you had the noise of the waterfall and everything else.
It was
and
really weird because
The closer you got, the
the
more
quieter
faint
it
it
was.
got.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
It was
wow.
weird because back here you could hear it clear as day. You got up to the waterfall, you obviously couldn't hear it, but you could just hear it barely afterwards. It was.
But you didn't give up. You just kept looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably hiked 2 miles
Yeah.
in the snow.
2
Well,
miles.
wow.
Ignoring the fact that we were all cold because we were hyped up on adrenaline.
It was February 12th, I think, was it? So it was snow on the
It was
ground, cold
I
outside.
put
I think it was 2 or 3 feet.
3 feet of snow, and I didn't.
How about that?
3 feet of snow. I don't know what you were wearing that day, but I
My
had.
shop fans.
Yeah, I had my short sleeve shop shirt on and no jacket.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
It was a little cold.
So Officer Rounds, you got involved in this too, obviously. And,
Yes.
so how do we finally get to this happy ending with the guy was found and his dog and everybody was okay?
Yes,
So,
I actually was radioed by Belmont at the 911 center, and I told them that I was already with the students that had called, and that we couldn't see him from our side where we were. I contacted Wellsville PD, who went to the other side of the bank, and they had to go way down into the brush area, and actually was able to see him, and they were able to bring him up with a UTV. So I came back around, because like I said, we walked quite a long distance from where he was. I mean, what do you guys think it was? Maybe
2 miles.
it
Wow.
was
2 miles
a
of gas.
long ways back. So I came all the way back to the area where I came in, where the fence line meets, which is on the other side of the campus here. Drove around, went back over to the other side across the river, and met up with the rescue squad, and they were bringing up the gentleman at that point with his dog. I could see his dog, the feet, and the dog was just shaking so viciously. And the rescue squad management said, we need someone to take this dog to the vet right away. I said, load him in, let's go.
excellent.
We got right, and they got him in the backseat of the patrol car, and we took him right up,
Awesome.
and the dog's doing fine too.
That's great. Well,
Yes.
that's so really, thank God for what all of you did. But the best thing was you didn't give up. And you
No.
didn't, that was really
I mean,
all of it.
Like he even told us when we met with him a couple of weeks ago. He was like had his legs in the river, and then he just basically said, this is it, this is how I hang. But then he's just like, well, it couldn't hurt. Hell!
So he really just was gonna give
He
up at
was
that
screaming
point.
for probably like hour, 45 minutes
Wow.
too.
Yeah, it was quite a bit, yeah.
And the story I heard was that the dog went in first, and he went in to rescue his
Yes.
dog. So
Yeah, and then he went in, I think he said he went over his head in the water, right? I
At
believe.
one point he did, yes,
Yeah,
and then he was
because
able
he
to pull
fell
himself
in.
back up and actually crawl to the bank.
Well, as someone who's done 22 polar bear swims in my life, I can tell you that it's not a pleasant experience when you go under. You know, that's
And
yeah.
it was, and they're not kidding, it was a very, very cold day. I mean, I had on an actual, like, full jacket, and I was, like, freezing. It's like, you just could not imagine.
I got into my car, at about 7 o'clock in the morning to come to school, and I think the temperature gauge read -4.
Oh my
It was
God.
terrible,
Yeah, it was
yes.
Wow.
very, very cold out there.
Whew. I mean, I'm sure from thinking about it. Again, I've done 22 polar bear swims. I just can't imagine doing one spontaneously like this poor gentleman did.
Right.
And the fact that you guys were there and didn't give up, you kept it up until you found, and you did all the right things. You got the right people involved, and to spend that, it is a miracle, first of all, that he survived that long, and that you were all able to put it all together and make sure that you saved his life and his dog's life. So
Yeah, I mean, as I've said before, I'm not really that much of a religious person. However, the way that everything worked out, like I didn't feel well the previous day, and I still didn't feel all that good on Friday morning. I wasn't even going to, like, I was debating up until the very last second whether I was going to come to school, whether I was not going to come to school. And at about 6:59, right on the dot, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to school today.
well, then somebody was speaking to you.
Yeah, someone was looking
Absolutely.
out.
And looking out for that gentleman also. It's amazing. I know, Joe spent years in law enforcement, and I'm sure you've had similar experiences. But to hear this, it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Well, just like the young man just said, there's something about this world of providence that puts you in the right place at the right time. And you guys were in the right place at the right time, and you made a difference in not only the gentleman's life, but the pet's life, the dog's life. And the residual effects are somewhat with us. We read it in the paper and say, oh my God, is this incredible or what? How proud you made everybody in this community of what you guys did, and that you were also determined enough to find out where that yelling and screaming was coming from. I mean, that's, because you could have just, it's animals fighting in the woods.
Yeah,
Who's
just
God
ran
only
off and
knows.
walked away.
And again, to repeat myself, God only knows, but you guys knew, and you knew. God bless you all for doing what you did. Like I said, you made a whole community proud, and I'm sure this campus and college very, very proud of your conduct. So again, God bless you and thank you very much.
Thank you all. And on behalf of the New York State Senate, I have a proclamation. I have one for each of you that outlines what you did and just thanks you on behalf of the people of the 57th Senate District and every single one of my colleagues in the New York State Senate. Thank you so much for going above and beyond to save someone's life. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're a lot poorer in the assembly. So I have one for each of you guys, a citation from us. So if you pass them out, thank you guys.
Well, again, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Officer Rounds, for what you've done. And like you said, if you don't believe in divine intervention, this is a great way to maybe provide a little evidence for that. So, and gentlemen, thank you all for your leadership here
Absolutely.
at college and the fact here that we know raising. We'll get that fixed. It's okay.
But then that last time the news